Here's Bob and Kathy Muni.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
Skip, do you still want us to be on our best behavior like we promised yesterday?
No, I don't want.
No,
No, I don't
okay.
want you to be on your best behavior at all. Nobody's ever on their best behavior on this show.
Okay, then I take back my promise to be good.
You guys are from Colorado, right?
We are, but we have deep roots in Florida as well.
Yeah, if I understand right, you guys are going to open an office down here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But we're already licensed to do that, and our future holds a move back to Florida, North Central Florida. Go Gators.
And that would be with I already forgot the name of your company.
Of course,
Top
financial.
Flight, like the golf ball. Top
Top
Flight,
Flight, that's
Financial.
right. Top Flight Financial. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into this, and then we'll get into a couple of questions that I've got.
Okay, I'll let Kathy start.
Well, I was a school principal and left that to be an office manager at a mortgage company. And I got interested and I started processing loans. And then I became a loan officer and began to specialize in reverse mortgages because my heart is still education. So I have just really enjoyed working with senior homeowners and helping to explain things. Our motto is, we educate, you decide. And so that's our whole approach. I have loved the last 5 or 6 years of working with senior homeowners and being able to get them the information that they need.
And I've been in the real estate and mortgage industry since 1992. Prior to that, I was a pastor and a missionary. A little bit about us. We've been married 44 years on Friday, 5 kids, 7 grandkids. And in the last 5 years, I saw how much fun Kathy was having, helping and seeing the impact that she had on the lives of seniors. And I said, I want to get in on this too. So I became a specialist in reverse mortgages. I mean, any loan officer can do reverse mortgages, but it doesn't do it justice because it's such a specialized field that's really all we do. And we've done hundreds in the last several years, which is pretty good.
Bob and Kathy, can you explain basically what a reverse mortgage is? Can we start with that education?
Wait a minute. I want to get something done right away before I forget. Did you see the email that I put up for you guys for the winners to send their mailing address to you?
Nope, but you.
It was both of your financial blah blah email.
Yep, that would be
Is that
great.
good? Okay,
Yeah.
Linda, tell us who won.
Now I have to find that piece of paper. Laura Schritt and Ronald Wilt.
Okay, there's 2 of your winners right there. In case somebody tries to send you something else, that's 2 of the winners. Yeah, and they'll mail you their their mailing address for the prizes to be sent to. And then we're going to have another game. There'll be 2 more winners. And then if we get the 3rd game in there, there'll be 1 more winner in that game. So you'll get a total of 5, I think, total.
Great.
Okay, now, what was we talking about?
My question was, could you
What is your question? Get right to it. Quit asking.
explain basically what a reverse mortgage is? Could we start there?
Great. That's a great question. And it's really pretty easy to answer. Most people are familiar with a regular mortgage. You make a mortgage payment every month. Over the course of 30 years, you invest literally hundreds of $1,000s into your home. And in most folks, it's their single largest asset. So on a regular mortgage, you pay into your housing wealth. And with a reverse mortgage, it's just reverse. Instead of you paying, the wealth you've accumulated pays you. So that's the simplest way to think about it. So you can access the wealth that you've accumulated in your home. There's several products and programs that we have. But the federal government in the late 80s instituted the reverse mortgage because they realized how the retirement landscape was changing and how most people did have their largest asset was illiquid. It was the money that was in their house. And so they instituted the reverse mortgage program specifically for seniors to help seniors in retirement access additional funds.
Somebody had a question on here. I've lost it now, but I do kind of remember the gist of it. It said so they're wanting to come in and buy a house. If they buy a home, can they get a reverse mortgage right away?
Well, yes, the answer is yes, but they will save money if they use a reverse mortgage to purchase that home. So it's one smooth transaction. They sell up north, and then we can work in connection with the realtor in Florida and help them to use a reverse mortgage to purchase the home in Florida.
In short, we can help them buy a home with about 50 cents on the dollar. That means if they're looking at a $300,000 home, they contribute $150,000. The reverse mortgage covers the rest, and they have no payment going forward other than the obligation that everyone has, paying taxes, insurance, and HOA. So it's a great deal. So the answer is definitely yes, and we can close them in 30 days.
AJ Wells says, how does that work when you go to sell the home, or leave it to beneficiaries?
Well, it works very well. It's just a mortgage. So if you want to sell, you sell your home. It's a big myth that somehow you can't sell the home. You sell the home, you pay off the reverse mortgage, and take the rest of the equity with you to your next adventure. If the folks pass away and it goes to the heirs, this is a non-recourse loan. So no debt devolves to the heirs. If the heirs want to sell the home, they don't want it, they're going to sell it, pay off the reverse mortgage, and keep the rest of the equity as their inheritance. But there is a way that if they chose to keep the home, they could do that. And they would pay it off then with their own financing, whichever is less, the appraised value at that time, or the loan balance, whichever is less is what they'll pay. And the mortgage insurance, if the loan balance was way high and the housing was way low, the mortgage insurance takes care of the rest. So they don't need to worry about it.
Well, this comes up real quick in my mind here. You said a while ago that it is cheaper to get the reverse mortgage before she would buy a new house here, get it now.
No. If they're moving to Florida, to the villages, then they're going to purchase the property using a reverse mortgage. So we're just like any mortgage, you're getting your financing ready. And when closing happens, it's the reverse mortgage that's kicking in like 50% of that purchase price. So you don't get it when you don't have a property. It has to be on your primary residence. But if you're moving to Florida because that will be the primary residence, then a reverse mortgage can be used.
Yeah,
but it's not their primary residence until they go to closing.
No.
Right. So that's fine. It's just like any other mortgage. You put it in place, you go to the closing table, you sign the documents, you bring your cash, the house is yours.
And you have to move in within 60 days.
Well, I think there's a little bit of confusion. You don't have the reverse mortgage from the house you're buying in the villages. You've got to have equity in the house to be able to get a reverse mortgage. So you're getting the reverse mortgage on the house you have in Ohio, for example.
No, that's not correct. Let's start from ground zero.
Okay.
You've got John and Betty that are coming from Ohio to the villages.
Okay.
They're selling their house in Ohio and they've got, let's say, $250,000.
Right.
They could come to the villages, they could pay cash or take out a traditional loan, or we could help them with a reverse mortgage. If they want to buy a house for $300,000, that's more than their $250,000. They would put $150,000 down.
Right.
The reverse mortgage would cover $150,000. They'd have their $300,000 to buy the house. They'd go to closing. They'd sign the papers. They move in. It's their primary residence, and all is good. But they also would have additional money. They would have over $100,000 left in their pocket that they wouldn't have if they paid cash.
Yeah, but Bob and Kathy, what I'm saying is when I say it's not on their house in the villages, the reverse mortgage comes from the house that they have. No,
it comes in the house that they're moving to. It comes to the house that they are moving to.
It's placed on the house that they're moving to.
Correct. They can buy it with it, just like any other mortgage.
And they don't have a mortgage payment in their house in the villages. They do have to pay property taxes, insurance, HOA, maintain the home, but they don't have a mortgage payment on that house.
So even somebody in the villages that wants to move, because I understand there's a lot of mobility in there, they can use it to sell. They can sell their current home and use a reverse mortgage to buy their next one.
So what happened to the house in Ohio?
They sold
They
it.
sold it. They moved.
And so
They're
that
not living there
cash-
anymore.
This stuff confuses me too. This is why when I go to the bank, I take Sue.
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
I mean, here's what I hear. I can buy a new house that I really don't own, but they'll give me a reverse mortgage on a home that I don't even own.
No, you use the reverse mortgage to own the house. You buy it.
Did you?
Oh, I don't.
You're buying the house with the reverse mortgage.
I'm looking at
It's
Linda.
like
And she's,
a regular mortgage. I get it.
It is just a mortgage, exactly.
Good,
Okay.
Melody. That's right.
Thank you, Melody.
I get it. Okay.
Barbara Ebner has a question. Says, does your home need to be paid off or partially paid off to qualify?
So to qualify, you should have, if you're staying put.
If you're in the home you're in.
Anything works, right? Whether if you have a mortgage on your current home and you want to do a reverse mortgage on that property, you're good. Or if you don't have a mortgage and you own free and clear, that works just as well. The rule of thumb is what you owe should be about at least just half of the value of the property. So you can't owe $300,000 on a $400,000 home and do a reverse mortgage.
Yeah.
But if you owe $200,000 or maybe a little less or a little more, depending on your age, then you could do a reverse mortgage on a property of $400,000.
So if you have about 50% equity or more, you're great.
Right.
If you owe more than that, then the numbers can be a little bit tight. But at
Is that
50%, that's the threshold.
Is
that's
that
a
the
rule.
normal ratio for a reverse mortgage? About 50% of the home's value?
It's the easiest thing I can give you. The older you get, the more you can access. I just ran some numbers for a guy that was 86 and he could access about 70%. So he only needed 30. If he could access 70% of the value of the home. So in his case, it was a $400,000 home. He could access about $280,000. So
Is that because they expected him to die any day?
they use the actuarial tables out to about 99. So that's where it is. The older you are, the more you can access, the more you can use. At 60, between 62 and 70, it's about 50%.
Okay.
But
I always
that's
wondered how
why-
they done that. Okay.
That's why when people reach out to us, then we can run the numbers for them specifically
But you've got to have some equity.
Yeah.
About 50% or more. Yes, ma'am.
or less.
Somebody here says, Chris S. wants to say, I want to wish Bob and Kathy a happy anniversary.
Oh,
Thank you.
anniversary.
This is my people right here.
You got it. There you go.
Laura wants to know, do you accumulate interest on a reverse mortgage?
Yes, you do. It is, instead of you making the payment, the equity that's in the house is making the payment for you. But if you stop and think about it just for a second, houses appreciate. Over the last 45 years, the annual appreciation is 4% nationwide. So your home is appreciating, the loan balance is growing, but the loan balance is only about half the value of the home. So the whole home is appreciating, about half of it, and the loan balance is growing. You're actually accruing more equity even with the loan balance growing because your home is appreciated. So I like to say, it's your future home appreciation that's making the payments for you.
Interesting. So if I had a reverse mortgage, say I got a $500,000 house and I had a $250,000 reverse mortgage. A year later, I get sick. I get bad news from the doctor and I decide, well, I think I need to sell everything and move back up north around the kids to help out. Can I pay that reverse mortgage off anytime I want to and then sell the house? Or do you sell the house first and then at closing,
Yes.
Is that how you do it? Okay.
Yeah.
And you keep the difference.
Right.
Okay. So while you got the reverse mortgage and you're living in the house, you are fully responsible for everything about that house, taxes, maintenance. If we're like in our area, it's all deed restriction. We're required by deed to mow grass, to do all these things. And so if a person dies on a reverse mortgage and he leaves the house to nobody because he has nobody. What happens to the house and the yard and all that? I mean, like the villages, they'll enact a rule. They'll say, we found you guilty. Even though the guy's dead, makes no difference. The home will be found guilty of deed compliance. We're going to mow your grass. We're going to clean the mold off the house. We're going to do whatever we got, and we're going to bill you every month for what we do. But nobody's in the house. There's a reverse mortgage on it. I don't understand how that's going to get settled.
It would be the same as any other mortgage. If they have no heirs and nobody to work through the estate, the lender, the servicer, is going to foreclose on it in order to get paid. So it's just like any other mortgage in that regard. It would be no different, the answer.
So this is a good question. If you have $350,000 from your sale and you want to buy a $400,000 house, why would a reverse mortgage be better than a traditional 2% mortgage on $50,000?
Because you get to keep, I mean, some of it depends upon your financial situation. On that $400,000 house purchase, you only need to put down $200,000, which allows you to keep $150,000 to do whatever you want with and not have a payment. So it improves your monthly budget and it improves your long-term financial resources. And it's a matter of strategy and how you think it's going to best serve you. And in most instances, you'll find that using the reverse mortgage improves the people's seniors and retired folks' financial position.